Peter Hegseth on the Shawn Ryan show says women should not be in combat. Trades like the infantry, artillery, tankers, engineers. And so I've got an issue with that. And where I would say, he says that there's a difference between men and women's physical capabilities, and I agree. However, the problem there is that it doesn't account for grit or determination. And a lot of women are, it's my experience in the military, many women are more determined, have more grit than a lot of men who want to serve in combat trades more than a lot of men. I've seen a lot of men give up. I myself have given up before some women. And so in the artillery, I like to think I was pretty tougher than a lot of guys who'd quit for different reasons, who couldn't keep up on ruck marches. But I also had to succeed or secede to women in the artillery. One of my first experiences when I, about 2 years after I joined initially, summer 96, I was shown up by at least one woman on the same gun who were unloading 155s, and after a dozen rounds I stopped unloading to take a break. I felt I didn't need to push myself, and I was just tired, and those are 90-pound bullets. And where one of the female gunners, now her name escapes me, she kept unloading rounds off the ammo truck into the M109. So that pretty well set in my opinion for the rest of my life, and believe that women should do whatever they want. However, in the military, where I think Peter Hegseth is right, though he doesn't say it this way, I will. What I think does not belong in the military is the woke ideology that if women want to meet the standard, whatever the standard is, and if they can meet the standard, then so be it. And I can guarantee many men cannot meet the standard. So women should not be excluded just because of bone density, muscle mass, or otherwise. Though everybody should be excluded who cannot meet the standard. It just depends on determination, grit, perseverance. And there's a lot of men and women who are more than capable. So I do support women in combat roles and physical active roles. And to be clear, I don't support men who can't meet the standard. So allow women in the military in combat roles in the artillery. I'll close on this as soon as the vehicle drives by. We go in Afghanistan 2008. We had 3 women who weighed about 90 to 105 pounds between the 3 of them, each at different weights. One weighed about 95, another weighed about 105, and the third was about that. And so they would load their body weight in projectiles. They would load 90-pound projectiles all day long, more than capable. And similarly in Vietnam, there was Vietnamese women in the Vietnamese artillery. I watched a French documentary on many years ago on many of the artillery units were made up of Vietnamese women. And after the war, those women were often not pursued by men because the women were often physically stronger than the men they were dating. So that's that. I don't know that I can say anything else. I fully support women in combat roles. Nothing else to say.